Hey tennis fans, welcome to The Slice and welcome to the Australian Open 2018. Here is my draw reaction for the biggest matchups, biggest possible upsets of this year's 2018 Australian Open. So this video is brought to you by our great friends at Cross Court Threads, hooking me up with the freshest tennis gear to wear on and off the court. Use the coupon code in the description below to get 10% off at their website of all their dope swag. Now, for this draw reaction, I am basing it around the top 4 seeded players. And it's not like it used to be with the big 4 where they were so tight and you basically knew that when it came semifinals time, it was probably just going to be the big 4 left over. The big 4 aren't the top 4 seeds this year. We have Rafael Nadal, number 1, Roger Federer, number 2, Grigor Dimitrov, number 3, and Alexander Zverev, number 4. So I think that right now, just as far as coming into the tournament, I'm just going to say my pick for favorite is Roger Federer. I think that he's the favorite right now because he hasn't had any injuries recently that we know of. He's been played great all of last year. The reason I put him ahead of Nadal is because it's a fast surface. The Australian Open I've heard that it's similar to last year as far as court speed, so it's going to be fast, and that obviously favors Federer more than Nadal. And Nadal's knee has been a bit of a concern coming in. He had to pull out of an exhibition, of Brisbane, but I don't think he's really injured. He just wasn't fully prepared. So I'm going to put Federer slightly above Nadal as far as the favorite for the tournament, but Nadal and Federer are definitely the top 2 guys to beat in Melbourne this year. So with the top 4, I'm going to break down their runs to the semifinals because that's really where the top 4 should meet, the difficulty of them. And I'm also going to start though with something I covered last year, one of my first videos ever about tennis, the Australian Open draw reaction for last year in 2017. I got something called the 4th round frenzy because I've noticed a trend. I'm definitely not the first one to notice this, but the 4th round is where the matches start to really get interesting. And there is some juicy matchups that I can't wait to see happen. And if things go as they should with the seeds not getting upset, which is not going to happen, seeds always get upset. There's lots of room for upsets this year, as there is every year. But regardless, the 4th round should produce some insane matches. And I'm going to show you which ones I think are going to be the best. So if we just take a look at here, I got the draw printed out. I got notes on here. We got show notes. We're going in deep on this one. So in the top here, we got Rafael Nadal's number 1 on the top, obviously. So he is, if things go right, he should play John Isner in the 4th round. And I don't think that's a big problem for Nadal. Isner did beat them last time they played in the Laver Cup. That's not really ATP sanctioned though, so it doesn't count. So Nadal technically still has a 7-0 lead on him, on Isner head to head. And I don't think that Isner should, if he gets there, Isner has to beat Schwartzman to play Nadal. And then even if he does, I don't think Nadal is going to have too much trouble with him. But that's an exciting matchup, obviously. Another part of the 4th round frenzy, though, is Grigor Dimitrov versus Nick Kyrgios. This is obviously a blockbuster because they're in my opinion, 2 of the most exciting guys on tour. And they're going to meet in the 4th round, which kind of sucks for us, but at least we'll hopefully get to see an awesome matchup of 5-set tennis. Dimitrov holds a 2-1 head-to-head lead right now, with Kyrgios winning the last match in Brisbane just a week and a bit ago. So if they can make it to the 4th round, which is going to be hard because they're both younger and they've been known to throw out, lemons of matches and just get upset earlier in majors. But if they can not do that this year and mature and really come into their own and make it to the 4th round, we could see a sick matchup there. That's part of my 4th round frenzy. Another 4th round frenzy matchup in the bottom half of the draw is Dominic Thiem versus Stanislas Wawrinka. The battle of the one-handed backhands. The 2 of the most beautiful one-handed backhands on tour. Very similar style of player. Really good, both really good on clay court, obviously. Wawrinka's won in Australia before, so obviously he has the experience handle. He's won 3 majors. Thiem's never won a major. But Thiem is playing some really good tennis right now, and he's the 5th seed. And Wawrinka's, the 9th seed right now. But in reality, you got to think, how healthy is Wawrinka? That's going to be the main question for his tournament. If he's kind of only halfback, he might get upset way earlier than that. He's playing some randoms in the first couple rounds, but Wawrinka is known to get upset in like the 1st round. To me, it seems like he either has a great tournament or he gets upset in the 1st round. But if they can both make it to the 4th round, Thiem versus Wawrinka should be juicy. Wawrinka is leading that matchup 3-1, but I wouldn't put it past Thiem to get upset either because Like everyone knows, hard courts are not his strong suit, and he's trying to improve his game on there. But it's that'll be a good match if they actually end up getting to meet. Next matchup in the 4th round frenzy of this year's 2018 Australian Open is Novak Djokovic versus Alexander Zverev. And it's insane that this could happen in the 4th round. It's actually kind of reversed because normally Novak would be part of the top 4, and he'd meet maybe a Zverev who's like ranked lower in the 4th round. But now Novak's the 4th seed, and he's going to hopefully meet Djokovic in the 4th round if Djokovic can get it going and come back off his long time off, obviously. If they can meet up, that'd be insane because they've only played once. Zverev won it, and that was in Rome. That was one of my first videos, a prediction. I think I predicted Novak to win that one, but Zverev won, and it was insane. And the last matchup in my 4th round frenzy this year, I think, is David Goffin versus Juan Martín del Potro, because Juan Martín del Potro and David Goffin both had an unreal fall in 2017. They both really came into their own. Del Potro, because he hadn't played that many matches in 2017, couldn't make the ATP World Tour Finals, but he probably should have been there instead of, I don't know, Marin Cilic, who kind of crapped the bed while he was there. But David Goffin obviously stepped up in a big way in the World Tour Finals, beating Federer and losing in the finals to Dimitrov. Goffin, I think, is super dangerous at this year's 2018 Australian Open, and I'd watch out for him. So I don't know who would win that matchup if they played, but I just know it would be sick to watch because Goffin is so fast. He's like an insane. He's like a more mature Alex de Minaur, as people are correcting me. de Minaur. I don't care. People are calling him the Demon, and I know that David Goffin is killing it right now on the hard court, wearing those Asics outfits, which I really like. Please sponsor me, Asics. Just kidding. I'm happy with cross court threads. But Goffin versus Del Potro is juicy. So we're getting treated again to a sick matchup in the 4th round. Now, I'm going to talk about the runs of each of the top 4 seeds. Well, I'm really just going to say who has the easiest run. And if we're looking at it, Nadal, if things go to plan, which they probably won't, Nadal will have to play Isner and then either Marin Cilic or Carreño Busta in order to get to the semifinals. And that, to me, seems like, that's, to me, the easiest run for a top seed, and rightfully so, because he is the number 1 seed, so they should get the best draw. But yeah, I don't really see Isner or Cilic or Busta or Carreño Busta really giving Nadal that big of problems. Grigor Dimitrov, on the other hand, has to play Kyrgios if things go to plan, and then Sock. So both young players, those are going to be crazy matches if they end up working out. But Dimitrov, has to get through tough Kyrgios and Sock on the way to the semifinals, where then he'd have to play Nadal. So, and then probably, I don't know, Federer or somebody else in the final. So it's a big ask for Dimitrov there. Zverev, I would say, has the hardest draw for the top 4 seed. He has to play Djokovic in the 4th round, if that's going to happen, and then either Thiem or Wawrinka in the quarterfinals. And yeah, those are just tough guys, I'd say. Like Wawrinka, Djokovic, part of the top 5. Wawrinka's won 3 majors. Djokovic just won like 12. It's insane. So Zverev's going to have a tough draw there, but I think he can do it. He hasn't really shown that he can do it in 5-set matches and over a couple matches in majors before, but this could be the year. We don't know how strong Djokovic is. We also don't know how strong Wawrinka is. And if Zverev and Thiem play on a hard court, I'm definitely going with Zverev in that matchup. And Roger Federer has to play Querrey and then either Delpo or Goffin. And I'm not going to lie, Delpo or Goffin in the quarterfinals is not what Federer wants. That is a tough matchup either way because Delpo is obviously tough. He took him out at the U.S. Open. Goffin's obviously tough now because he knows he can beat. I thought before Goffin beat Federer, I thought he would never, ever, ever touch him. But Goffin blew my mind. He changed it. He showed me that he can hurt Federer. I don't think Federer played his best match at the World Tour Finals, but Goffin is definitely dangerous against Federer because he's just so crafty and good. He doesn't have the biggest weapons, but we now know that his backhand down line is a weapon. His movement is a weapon. It's insane. And Federer is, but it's a tough match. You should have tough matches in the quarterfinals. So I'd say Rafael Nadal is the easiest route to the semifinals of the top seeds. Zverev has the hardest. Kind of makes sense because that's number 1 and 4. So that's kind of how it should work maybe. But those are definitely the hardest runs. Now, little segment I want to call Run Busters. These are some matchups that I've picked out that could totally blow some of the top seeds, could ruin their Australian Open because I just think it's a bad matchup for these guys. And, it's a really tough one. Really could be a really tough match if it works out this way. So the first one, Djokovic might have to play Gael Monfils in the 2nd round. Gael Monfils is a past top 10 guy. He's always been in the contention to win majors. He's always gotten deep, and he's super dangerous on any given day. And Djokovic coming back off an injury, we don't really know what his level is going to be at. And I can definitely see Monfils winning this matchup because he's obviously injury-free, it seems, and he's athletically primed. And he's just looked good. I think he won in Doha. Don't quote me on that. I'm just playing that off the top of my head. But, yeah, he looks like he's been playing good, and he's super dangerous against a Djokovic who's kind of just coming off the hospital bed right now. Next run buster is for team. I would say like almost every match because he's so inconsistent on hard courts. I think Steve Johnson in the second round could beat him. And then Mannarino could beat him in the third round because Mannarino's so crafty. He's like the one guy in tour who I don't think has literally any weapons other than just like tennis IQ. It's insane. I don't know how he's in the top 100, but that's kind of changed the way I think. I thought everyone had to have a weapon, but now like you don't necessarily. You just have to be really crafty and good. That's Mannarino. He could beat team, I think. So team's run could get busted at any point, but that's more on team than anyone else, I'd say. Dimitrov Rublev they will have to play, or Dimitrov will have to play Rublev in the third round if it works out like that. And Dimitrov doesn't want that because Rublev beat him at the U.S. Open, and Rublev is a tough cookie. Make no mistakes about it. The Russian comes from, he's able to hit another ball at every point in a rally. He's tough and he's fast and he's young and he's athletic. He's like a younger Dimitrov, basically. Similar racket, similar play style. And that's a tough matchup for Dimitrov. And Dimitrov needs to be really mentally tough in this tournament in the early rounds to get his tournament going. And if he can do that, he can do what he did last year or better, I think, which is make it to the semifinals and maybe get over the hump of beating Nadal. But that's a possible run buster in Rublev. And the last one I would say is Alex de Minaur versus Berdych in the first round. So that's not, if you're Thomas Berdych, you're not stoked when you see that because de Minaur is obviously, if you've been paying attention, has been killing it. In Brisbane, he made it to the semifinals. In Sydney, he lost in the finals. So his life's been changed over the last 2 weeks, and he's playing unbelievably exciting, gritty, hard-working tennis with an insane backhand up the line. And just insane movement skills that can really frustrate players because he can get balls back. And his serve is it doesn't look hard, but it's so effective. And the percentage that de Minaur gets in is like insane. Every match, I swear, I've looked at the stats afterwards, and his first serve percentage is like 75%. That's so high. That is so high. And when you're always seeing first serves, you can't really it's hard to get into games because even if you're returning them, the advantage is still for the server big time after that. So that's not a good matchup for Berdych in the first round, and de Minaur's definitely got an opportunity there to upset Thomas Berdych. Now, so last thing I'm going to talk about is interesting, fun early matches, and I got two of them. One of them is between Thanasi Kokkinakis and Medvedev. Really interesting because Medvedev just beat de Minaur in the final of Sydney to win his first ATP tournament, and Kokkinakis is kind of coming off injury, trying to make a comeback. He's got big weapons. He's a fun player to watch. Friends with my boy, Nick Kyrgios. And he played well at the Hopman Cup, and I saw him giving Federer some hard times, and I think that could be an interesting matchup. And if Kokkinakis can beat Medvedev, then he'll be playing Misha Zverev next, and I could definitely see Kokkinakis beating Zverev. And then he's into the third round, and then Kokkinakis would play Alexander Zverev. I think Alexander or Kokkinakis beats Zverev in the Hopman Cup. I think I'm right on that. So, there's an opportunity for Kokkinakis there. Now, they call him, or his Instagram name is The Cock. You got to watch out for him. And the other interesting first matchup is, I'm going to butcher this name, and I know everyone gets mad at me for butchering names, but how can I not butcher a name where his name is Stefanos Tsitsipas? It's Greek. Starts with a T, second letter is S. I don't know how to pronounce all this stuff. But he is playing Denis Shapovalov, my man from Canada, in the first round, and that's going to be a really exciting match because they're both got sick single-handed backhands, and they're just young and exciting to watch. Whoever wins that plays Tsonga, and I think whoever wins that might beat Tsonga because Tsonga is just, I don't know. I think he's kind of done. He should probably pack it up soon here. He had a good end of the year last year with the Davis Cup. But, yeah, Shapovalov really spanked him in the U.S. Open, and I think that Tsitsipas would do the same thing. So that's another interesting first-round match. Now, I don't have a full breakdown of the women's draw because I am crunched for time here, and I'm also just not as well-versed in the women's draw. But with Serena Williams out, I wouldn't have said she's the favorite, but everyone kind of knows, like, if she's in there and she can get rolling, she probably is. But obviously, Simona Halep, Muguruza, and Wozniacki's right up there with contenders, I would say, because Wozniacki had such a good end to 2017 winning the WTA finals. So those girls have large opportunities. Muguruza has already won two majors, but I think Halep and Wozniacki definitely have a great chance at the Australian Open to step up and win their first major ever. Jeannie Bouchard, I want to say she has a great chance, but really she hasn't been showing us that she does. She's taking pictures of her fingernails on court. She seems she's not winning matches. That's what it comes down to. She says, I need 20 matches to get back into it. It's like, sure, but none of these other people who have been coming off of time offs, which years wasn't even that long, have had 20 matches. Federer didn't, Nadal didn't, all these guys, but you just got to produce. And at the end of the day, until you start producing, Jeannie, I can't say that you have much of a chance in the Australian Open. But prove me wrong. I would love it because I love you and I want to see you do well. But that's been The Slice on the Australian Open 2018. Who do you think is going to win the Australian Open? I'm not giving any predictions on who's going to win the Australian Open right now because it's too early and I have to see a few matches. But maybe after the fourth round frenzy goes down, then I'll start to give my prediction because I'll see how the players are playing. But leave a comment. Tell me what you think about my draw reaction. Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm out to lunch? Do you think that everything I said is wrong? I don't care if you do. Just say it in the comments and let's talk about it. But thanks for watching, and I can't wait for this tournament. Check out Cross Court Threads to get all your dopest swag to wear during the tournament. And it's going to be a good one, guys. Stay tuned for more videos from The Slice during the Australian Open 2018. Thanks for watching, folks. If you want to buy the Slice Ringer Classic Retro T-shirt fully made in Canada, you can do that now on theslicetennis.com. Go to the shop tab. They're $30 plus shipping. But it supports The Slice and it supports ethically made clothing and it makes you look fresh because I noticed after one wash, they shrink a little bit. So then it fits you better. It's unbelievable. So go to theslicetennis.com to purchase those. I would appreciate it forever. And you get to be a part of the beginnings of The Slice. We only have about 20 made. 3 of them were bought the other day. So the stock is running low. So get yours while you can. They come in black as well. Also, articles on theslicetennis.com are popping off. We got polls on who's going to win the Australian Open. Head there, send in your vote, and let's dialogue about tennis. Thanks for watching, guys. We love the support. Also, last thing, if you want to donate to The Slice financially, you can do so at patreon.com. You can donate $2, $5, $10 a month. Anything would be appreciated. It helps us keep going and making more videos. The link will be in the description. Patreon.com helps the world go around. Thanks, guys, for watching, and stay tuned for more.